Welcome to Happy Hour, brought to you by Best Damn Bookkeeping. Look at this. Look at this one. Can you believe this?
Proud right now.
Can you believe
proud
this?
right now.
This is the first time. Jai, can you play me some intro music for this one? Yeah.
Yep.
Hit me with that intro.
You did choose like the worst flavor though.
Oh, is it really? I thought grapefruit would be good. I don't know. Are any of these good? I didn't think any of them were good. I mean, I know you like them, but I don't trust your
They're
taste.
delicious, bro. They're delicious.
I have no. There we go. Where's Angela when you need her? I can hear these. Kind of got like a maraca vibe over it. Oh, yeah. What's up, folks? It's Wednesday. It's a weird Wednesday. You know, it's a really effed up Wednesday when I've got a White Claw.
It's also Tuesday.
That's why it's such a weird Wednesday. That's why it is. You're right. It is Tuesday, isn't it? I still don't know what day it is. Between the jet lag and the traveling back from the Philippines, and I flew this is what really trips my mind. I flew out of South Korea at 6 p.m. on Sunday. I got back to Minneapolis at 4 p.m. on Sunday. I had a 12-hour flight, and somehow 2 hours earlier.
You're younger, even.
I got back before I left.
And you look younger.
Do I?
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah. Good to know. No, I don't feel any younger, but maybe this White Claw will help with the feeling part of that. That's what we're having today. Because my in-laws have been over using the pool, and there's no beers left in my fridge. I don't know if they drank them. It could have been Dan before he left that drank them, but it's more fun to blame the in-laws, you know. But the beer fridge doesn't have any beer in it, so I opened it, and there was this White Claw, and I guess I gotta drink it. It is like 90 some degrees out here, and so this actually sounds very refreshing right now.
Yeah, and it's only 100 calories.
This isn't too bad. The grapefruit one. I could see how you wouldn't like it if you didn't like grapefruit.
That's me.
Yeah,
you got to go with the black cherry.
I do. My wife is a black cherry advocate as well. Seems like that's a popular flavor. I'm just not a White Claw guy, but today I am. Got to have something to drink around here.
I'm having coffee.
Well, it's also what 4 a.m.
4 a.m.
4 a.m. That's a good time to have some coffee. Are you at the front of your day or the end of your day though?
Front.
You're at the front.
Just starting. Day. Yeah, starting
early.
4 a.m.
Working early. So Jai, we got a little Philippines trip to recap.
Yeah, so much fun.
It's so much fun. So much fun. I don't even know what day it is. That's how much fun it was. Still trying to figure that out. I almost had a normal night's sleep last night. So tonight I think it's going to be the night, but then I got to leave again and travel. So we got to talk Philippines trip. We got to talk. I want. There's like a bridge to be gapped here because in the Philippines at the summit we talked a lot about leadership, and so I'm gonna like bring that into the combo and then transition that into AI. And I got into a cool conversation with Michael Gregory and Sean Day, who are usually on the show as well. Maybe one or both of them will still join us yet. And we were talking about AI voice and all that stuff. And like, where is it going to go and where's the sweet spot and how does human interaction still fit into that? And we talked a lot about that summit, had a cool conversation with Michael and Sean earlier, just like kicking it around as to like where we see our businesses fit. For those that don't know, Michael and I own Higher Lead Chill and Sean runs it. So the three of us have an hour-long meeting every single week to hang out and nerd out on business stuff and work on Higher Lead Chill stuff. So anyway, all kinds of cool stuff. Trevor, what you got going on? What you up to?
It's interesting you're talking about leadership because that's what I've been diving into all week. Well, it's only Tuesday, but it feels like it's been all week.
It feels like it's Wednesday. Yeah. It feels like it's Wednesday to me, man.
Yeah, we had a pretty productive team meeting this morning, and it's just not natural for me. You know, it's like pulling teeth. You can tell by looking at me, I'm worn out. That's why.
Like the having to lead a meeting like wears you out, or the what part of it?
I have no idea. It's just like it's almost like I don't feel like I have permission to lead these people, and it's like a insecurity, I guess. So it just kind of wears me out.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like, it's almost, I don't know if this is it, but I do find when I go to like trade shows and your brain is just like turning and turning and turning and you're
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
it's like you're engaged and the minute you're done with it, you're like, I am exhausted. Like I ran a marathon.
Yeah, because in your head, you're going through every system you have in place and you're trying to make sure you coach it accurately and simplify it and make sure it's not insane. And they're all looking at you like this.
I found, and I don't know if you've had the same experience, Trevor. I found the same thing with like speaking on stage. Like it used to make me nervous and I was excited when I was up there. And then when I was done, I'd be like wiped because same type of thing. But after doing it so many times now, it doesn't, it's just another place for me to have a beer, I think is what it turned into. But do you get the same kind of sense of
for sure? That? For sure. And there's a reason that if you ever go to church and you hear the pastor and he's like, can I get an amen? Or can I get some feedback? That we're constantly looking for feedback. It's the same thing in a team meeting, right? If they're just sitting there, it's like 7:30 in the morning, they're just sitting there staring at you, drinking their coffee. You're like, give me something, right? And when you get that feedback, you kind of feed off of it. But without it, you're just swimming in the deep end.
Speaking of feedback, we got this Jared, or is it JC? I don't even know. Jai.
With a Y. Chanowski with a Y.
Chanowski with a Y. Chanowski. Morning from Malaysia. JC, I'm just glad to hear you guys actually ended up somewhere. For those that aren't aware, Malaysia was not the intended destination. They're supposed to be in Vietnam. But the Chanowski family foreign affair officer, JC, you can comment if that's the right title for you. Angela handles domestic. JC handles foreign. JC / their foreign affairs advisor didn't know that in Vietnam you need a visa, not just a passport. So they went to go get on a flight to go to Vietnam. I think this is how it went down. They went to go get on a flight to go to Vietnam and we're like, oh, yeah.
That's a different kind of visa though.
Doesn't F that one up.
Yeah, it doesn't. What do you call this? Doesn't used to be, like that. It's called an e-visa. It's not the usual visa you need. Yeah,
I think I needed one of those in China when I was working in China back in my corporate days. Yeah.
I just heard of it. Like my wife knew about it, so
she's been holding out.
No,
she knew about it this whole time. I do think in JC's defense, like they're so seasoned of travelers that there's like, boop, Malaysia, like what, gonna just pivot and do something else. Yeah. And I think that's a super business owner trait is we're just used to screwing stuff up. Which is this is gonna like come full circle to what we talked about at the summit is like as a business owner, I think Jai, you were part of this. I've mentioned like we don't know what we're doing. None of us do. That's why like Trevor leading a meeting was so difficult. That's why like getting up on stage the first time is so difficult. Like that's why JC went to Vietnam without knowing what he was doing. Like we're good at just going and figuring it out. And we ain't always going to get it right. But we're also good at adapting and being comfortable with uncertainty. And that was one of the things that was stressed at the summit was leadership and being able to create value and not just do tasks, but actually create and lead. And I had that conversation. I had a little breakout with our finance group. And then I went up on the main stage and kind of was talking to everybody. And that was my main lesson to everybody is their team of 100, I think it's like around 150 strategic partners at UG. It's easy to think the person you're working for knows what they're doing. Like you kind of assume that they do. Like otherwise, how would they have a successful business? But I wanted to make sure all those strategic partners in that room working for Angela and JC are well aware that none of us know what we're doing. Like you're betting on us to figure it out. And I also think it's really important that those individuals understand that that's why they can create value is nobody has the right answer. We don't know what the right answer is. We're just making shit up every single day, which sounds kind of scary that they work for us and with us and that we don't actually know what we're doing. But it's why there's so much opportunity to create values, because nobody really knows what the right answer is. Jai, any from the UG Summit, any huge takeaways from you? We'll get to some of the relationship stuff and some of the funny stuff, but from a content side of things, any big takeaways for you?
Well, I think you said it best when you came up on stage and cracked the beer with cracked the beer open with
That was my
with
first
JC and
international
Angela.
speaking beer.
Yeah, JC told that you're now an international speaker.
Yeah,
Congratulations on that.
my fee, I think I saw his post. My fee has now gone up from 1 beer to a 6-pack.
Yeah. So yeah, so I think you said it best. Like everyone in there, including you guys, especially you guys, are leaders, right? So um you talked about being a passive and active leader. So we gotta step up and be an active leader, and contribute and add value to everyone else's business, like their clients and who we're working for or not working for, what we're partnered with,
Mm-hmm.
so that we can, contribute to the best of our abilities and just add value to the business and what they're doing. And sure, we're gonna fuck shit up, like
That's
you
right.
said, but
Yeah, we are.
yeah, yeah, but to that, we're learning too. So
That's
also,
great.
Angela told that there's no such thing as failure. There's only learning in
Yeah.
business and in working with somebody like you and Angela and JC, and especially Trevor too. Like, we're all in here and we're just learning on our way. So don't contribute it to failing. So
Yeah.
that's it.
It's easy to beat yourself up too. I
Mm.
mentioned this in my finance team breakout. I think the hardest part about being a small business owner is like everybody does think you know what you're doing, and therefore nobody tells you good job. Right?
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
nobody comes to you as a business owner and says, "Hey man, you crushed it today." Right? Like that's your job, is to tell your team that they crushed it and like give them the praise. It's really weird, like unless your spouse does it or your friends do it, like, which is why I think we hang out with a lot of other business owners, is because it takes a business owner to tell another business owner, like, dude, you're crushing it. And like, no, there's nobody else. Sometimes our spouses, like, they know it, but they're so frustrated with us because in order for us to crush it, a lot of times they suffer. And therefore they're not even apt to tell us that we crushed it, because they're like, just take care of the damn kids. Like, stop worrying about it. And
Yeah,
glad you're doing well.
That's honestly really insightful, because it's one of the reasons we started the conversation, right? We lead these team meetings, and it's like, if they had any idea what went into planning just that 20-minute meeting, but it's nothing against them either. It's just the way that it is, It's hard to understand that we're winging it on a daily basis, just like you are. It's like we're trying here. A little feedback would be nice.
Yeah, it's goofy. You're guessing, and then your only feedback is, do they stay or do they quit? Do they do a good job, or do they do a shitty job?
Because you never really know if they're happy. You don't. Yeah. There's no feedback like, hey, by the way, man, I just want you to know I really love being here. It's like, no, you wake up every morning wondering who's going to quit today.
Yeah. I did have, and I should have thanked Nina for this more. Nina, who's my admin, I'll say, through Unique Genius, she is, and I don't know if she's just sucking up. I don't think so, because like, she's my admin. Like, she's not. She doesn't have anything to gain by sucking up. She's stuck with me either way. But she has gone out of her way multiple times to like thank me for leadership and like the culture and just making it fun and stuff like that. So that's been like super helpful feedback. She's one of the more vocal members of our team. And Jai, I think you probably saw this too. And I think this is maybe cultural, which is we have 12 people in the Philippines that work for Best Damn Bookkeeping, all through Unique Genius. And as our team has gotten bigger, they have a really hard time speaking up in front of one another. And so we actually just had to change our team meeting structure here, because there's 20 of us on the Best Damn team and 12 are in the Philippines. And so Skip, who will like run the meeting for us, because God knows I shouldn't be running a meeting. I can hardly run a damn podcast. But Skip will like be going through stuff with them, and they'll just be quiet, right? Like nobody wants to step up and say anything. I think now maybe they will, now that they have some more comfort with each other and with us. But at the summit, JC and Angela opened it up for questions, and it was just crickets for like 10 seconds. And I can't handle silence. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I talk a little bit. I just can't do silence. So I grabbed that microphone and I was like, I got a question for you. And then they answered it. And then it was kind of crickets again. And I was like, I got another question for you. And then we got some like question moment. Yeah, JC said, and I got crickets. And so, but a thing happened, and it was like perfect. That I don't know. The guy asked this question that like played into it perfectly. We started to get some momentum, and more questions started getting asked. And one guy asked, how do we like bring leadership to the table, right? Like, how do we start being leaders? What does this look like within Unique Genius? Where do the opportunities come from? How do we raise our hand? Blah, 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 blah. And like before JC and Angela could even answer, I grabbed the microphone and I was like, like what you just did, right? Leadership. And we had mentioned it multiple times, but it was like the perfect opportunity to like bring it full circle for them, which is leadership isn't a job. It's not a title. It's not a role. It's a behavior. And in a room where nobody's asking questions, the leader is the person that stands up and asks some damn questions and says, I'm okay not knowing what I'm doing, right? I don't know. What do you guys think? Or maybe I think I know. Jai, where'd you go? You ruined the 4-pack. Get your ass
back, Jai. What are you doing?
There we go. Where's he going? We got Michael Gregory in the house. But it was like the guy asked the perfect question, and I was just like, oh man, like let me connect the dots for you. Like, you don't need to be called a leader to be a leader. You need to have the behavior. You need to set an example. And leaders aren't, again, it's not a job. It's the task of setting an example to get people to follow you. And there's so many ways to do it, right? You don't need to be an extrovert to be a leader. You don't need to be an introvert to be a leader. You don't need to have the greatest skill set. A bunch of leaders are people that don't actually have a lot of great skill sets. They just have a great skill set to show empathy and compassion and lead people. And they find people that have the skill sets, and they set the vision, and people will follow them, right? So like leadership is a behavior. It's not a role necessarily. It's not a job. And I thought that was pretty cool. Once we started getting some momentum, I don't know, Jai, those questions went on for like an hour. Like they just kept coming once we started flowing. Like an hour. Yeah. That was pretty cool to see. It'll be interesting now too. I'm curious. We haven't had a team meeting with our bookkeepers. We have Thursday. We have an hour-long meeting, and I'm curious to see how much more vocal they are, because there were a few of them that like stepped up in our best damn team and were like clearly leaders. And I don't think they knew they were, and I don't think their teammates knew they were, but you got them all together. And there's a couple people who like are like, all right, everybody, here's what we're doing. Here's where we're going. Let's do this thing. And people just wanted to follow them. And that was cool to see it, because I don't, on Zoom calls, right, with our team, we don't get to see that, and they don't get to see that.
Yeah.
Jai, any other takeaways for you?
But sometimes you just need that switch, like to hit for the team. Like, I don't know, but here I click also how we do meetings. Like how Mike leads meetings is you start with a win, so that immediately breaks the ice for people. Like it doesn't need to be professional at every time. It can be a personal win. Like this week, me and my sister-in-law, we started taking tennis lessons. So that's a
that was your tennis
win.
post. I saw you're like, I'm gonna do this once.
Yeah, let's try this for a while. So yeah, I've been putting out putting it off, like I wanna learn tennis. Like I wanna learn tennis. I've been telling my wife that a lot of times. So when I got a chance to go with Jen,
I'll bring my.
Anyways, this sidetrack.
I'll bring my tennis. I probably haven't played tennis in 10 years. I'll bring my tennis racket over. Oh, what's going on over there?
I got my paddle set from Google. It's from our Google points. So
yeah.
The heck is he talking about?
Pickleball.
Yeah.
JC want to know, do they have pickleball in the Philippines?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Do,
we have a couple people that are like killer at it.
Fewer courts though. Fewer courts. I don't know where they're at.
Pickleball is just for fat, out of shape people that don't know how to play tennis. Am I right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's slow. It's kind of
slow.
I'm
on phase 2 of the 5 stages of pickleball.
Nice. So, what else do I have for takeover? Like you guys also said that you don't always have what do you call this? A good day.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just what do you call this? Maybe you can explain this more, but it's not always like a good day for a business owner.
Most days aren't.
Most days.
So not all.
Like
yeah.
like JC talked about it. Like he was feeling down like last year, and then Angela just got him a push in the back. Like we got this. You got this. Like don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Like those kind of days.
Yeah, and our number one core value, and I instilled this in my last business because I saw it as like the number one detriment we had in at Blue Skies. We changed our core value to be positive attitude was the first one. At Best Damn Bookkeeping, our acronym is BEST, so it's blessings, and just in being blessed and coming with that attitude of like, yeah, bad shit's gonna happen, but you're still here. Like as long as you're still here, you're still here. And like, what are the odds that you're alive as a human? Like, why you? Right? You get one chance to have this life, and just like, why would you come at anything with a whiny, shitty attitude? And so and I think this is important as business owners because whatever mood we're in, it's going to impact our entire team, right? If you're the leader, they're all looking at what you're doing and watching you and picking up your vibe, and then it's going to impact their day. And so even if I'm having a bad day and I'm in a bad mood, like I started this morning in a really shitty mood with my family, and like Crosby was throwing fits and my girls weren't ready, and I was trying to get back to it with the meeting with Karmazin to go over some stuff, Johnny boy. And I was like in a shitty mood to start my day. And as I was driving back from letting the kids, like dropping the kids off of school, literally like in my mind, I was like, all right, Dan, you got to turn this shit around. Like we have team meetings. We got problems to solve with clients. There's no time to be in a shitty mood. I wish I could do the same with my kids. My kids get the best of me, man. Like they'll wear me down. They'll eat me up. And they'll bring me the most joy too. It's just like being a business owner, ups and downs.
Yeah.
But your team feeds off of you so much that if you can't bring a good mood, and this was a leadership lesson I learned in my Cargill days, like through some training, was how to talk about your bad days instead of express them. When somebody like brings a shitty mood at you, your only recourse is to like defend yourself. Like when somebody brings you a bad attitude, you bring them bad attitude back. When somebody brings you like hey man, I'm like really down, I'm struggling, and I'm sad or I'm pissed or I'm whatever, and they just tell you about it instead of express it at you, your natural reaction is, how can I help you? Right. And so I think that's a good lesson with our teams is to be vulnerable, and instead of like being grumpy, to tell them, hey, I'm in a rough mood today. Like here's what I think is causing it, but I just want to be transparent. So you're not like, oh, Dan's being a dick today. Like that, I'm just trying to like fight through some stuff. And if you're transparent with them and vulnerable with them, they have a way better reaction to your like rough mood that you're in than if you just come into meetings with a shitty mood. It's hard to do. That's easy to say. Way harder to do. Works in a marriage too, I found. Works in a marriage too. Like most leadership things. What else, Jai? What do we miss? What was your besides karaoke, what was your favorite thing of the summit?
Dude, lunch. the first day that I arrived there, and just we went out and had lunch. So that's
Yeah.
pretty much the most I've enjoyed for the trip, because I don't know if I've been looking forward to meeting you. So
Aw.
because
Yeah.
no, because we've been like I've been working for with Dan for like almost 5 years now. Dan,
Yeah.
right?
It's been,
Yeah. So
yeah, I
I fucked
suppose.
shit up the most for.
Yeah. No, I fucked shit up the most. You was second most.
No, I mean, yeah, that was fun. Lunch, and then
And
I
we got
got
to
to
hang out with
experience
your
first.
wife for a
fir-
while. What
Yeah,
was
I got
the
to experience firsthand how Dan started his day, because he always says that if you ain't drinking it uh in the morning, you can't say like you've been drinking all day if you didn't start in the morning.
it was like
That's
11:30. I'm
one
like,
thing.
might as well have a beer.
I said,
You know,
I
we're in the
said, I
Philippines.
told that it's too early for me. I can't. So
Never too early for me.
That's it. Yeah.
What was that dessert we had?
Halo halo.
Hello.
The thing yeah.
Yeah.
You have ice cream on top, and mung beans and tapioca, sweet tapioca all over it, with shaved ice and some milk
It was
poured
about the
into a
size of a
glass.
two. It was about the size of a 2-liter bottle. So after we had pork face, which what
Yeah.
was that?
Sisig.
Sisig. We had some
Yeah.
pork face. Don't look like that, Trevor. It's no different than walleye cheeks, right? We eat walleye cheeks when we're
Yeah.
out catching walleyes.
I don't eat walleye cheeks, dude. I've never seen a walleye.
We didn't catch any walleyes when you were there.
No, those are Yankee fish, man. I don't even.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
when you come ice fishing next time, we'll get some walleyes. I'll cook you some cheeks. They're like a scallop. They come out like a scallop.
There's a question here from JC.
JC says, what difference did you see from talking to the UG team versus business owners at an event? I think that the biggest difference I saw was business owners like start telling stories of
Full of crap.
we go right to type 2 fun. Like when we interact, we're like, here's some shit that happened to me. Oh, guess what? Here's some shit that happened to me. We like try to out worse story tell. Like here's some shit. Steve Ranella calls it type 2 fun because you like get joy out of the painful times. Is an outdoorsy guy. Like those are the things you like. You don't tell stories about when shit was easy. You tell stories about when you overcome stuff, right? So business owners, we kind of do that. That's like where we get our mojo from, is like the pride of overcoming hard stuff. I think the main difference with this is this was a group of people where it's like, even though we all work together, we never have seen each other, right? And you get some of that with business owners, but at the UG Summit, it's a different level of a relationship. Like you're not just hanging out with friends that you know, you're hanging out with your team, right? Like these are people that show up every day and give you everything they've got, not just somebody that maybe is a client and you do a little bit of work with, maybe is just a buddy that you know and you get to see a few times a year at conferences. So like being able to connect at that level, I didn't realize this was happening until I heard about it, but our bookkeepers, like especially all the gals, were staying up until like 2 a.m. in the morning telling stories, right? Like hanging out and just like sounded like Michael and I at a huge convention back in the day. But they were like staying up all night just gossiping, right? And like building relationships because they had never, like, they get to work together, but they don't live in the same spot in the Philippines. They're not like in an office. They're all remote too. And so I think that was probably the biggest difference, is just like a little higher level of connection at the UG Summit because we all work together so much and are so intertwined and never get to see each other, right? Besides this once, right? One time a year, maybe. And this might have been the first time for almost everybody. I think on our team last year, there were 3 people there. This year, there were 12, right? So it's like tons of new faces, tons of people getting to meet each other. And it's just deeper, like just a deeper level of connection. And it was funny, like they didn't know what to do. And I think most people listening and Trevor and Michael, you guys already know this. Like when we go to events, yeah, the convention is fine. You know, whatever we're at is fine. But the thing that we always take away is the relationships and the stories, and like the stuff that happens outside of the organized event is always the most impactful that you leave with. And it was funny, like they started to realize that too, that the lunch is the most impactful thing, right? The staying up late and hanging out with your coworkers is the most impactful thing. The karaoke and making Dan sing "You're Welcome" is like the funniest thing, right? It's like the summit is great, but the relationships are always the thing that you leave with, and just at another level at that point where you get to work together all the time, but you never actually get to meet, and you finally get to meet is epic, as they say. So I want to transition this. Now that we got Michael, we can talk about like the adult stuff here. But one of the things that I commend Angela and JC for is they rebranded, and I've asked Angela this on the show, and I think this is what I was trying to get at, but I didn't have a good like framework to get at it. I said, like, with VAs, how are you guys going to use AI? Because as a bookkeeping business, I'm looking at AI and being like, man, I might not exist in a few years. Like, I don't know what AI does to my business. It's not physical. It's all digital. Like, how does AI, it's going to play a big part in what we do, if not absolutely take over what we do. And I'm looking at Angela's business and going, same thing, right? Like if it displaced all the bookkeepers I have through Angela, then I'm not working with Angela anymore, and that would suck. But I also have to be a good business owner and be nimble. And so I'm like trying to like, how do I ask that question, right? And I didn't know how to ask it. I didn't know how to bring it up. I didn't even know what the hell I was asking. And then they rebranded, and this was back in like April, they rebranded to be Unique Genius Strategic Partners. And I was like, well, that's a cool, exercise. And I like the rebranding. And the team recognized it too. I think Belt, who's the video homie, who's just freaking awesome, who made the Trevor, he made the promo video from our ice fishing trip. Belt was the one that made that. And so he had stood up and said, like, man, I used to tell people I was just a virtual assistant. And now I get to tell people I'm a strategic partner, right? Like the impact of the title is like, there's a reason you put the word just before virtual assistant. Like you just feel like you're one of a peon in thousands, right? But when you say I'm a strategic partner, like it means something different in your mind of what's expected of you. And it goes back to the leadership thing. And this is where I think AI comes into the conversation, which is, again, nobody knows what they're doing, but leaders are the ones that just start figuring it out. And Jared said, yeah, it's a badge of honor is what Belt had said. Sure. And in a world where we don't really know what's happening, leaders are the ones that are taking the risk, standing up, making decisions, moving forward. And it was cool to see Angela up on stage, like helping explain why strategic partners, because in a world with AI, and one of the employees at Unique Genius had basically written a bunch of SOPs, trained the AI, and then they fired her, right? Like her tasks got replaced and they didn't need a virtual assistant anymore. And so that was super cool to see. And like, I saw it happening, but I never really connected the dots, but like Angela has been watching this coming and said, we got to be in front of this, right? We got to be leaders. I don't know what the right answer is, but our people need the opportunity to play at a higher level, right? And to be able to provide more value. And so we can't just be virtual assistants anymore. We got to be strategic partners. We got to play at another level. So I thought that was super cool. And it ties into a conversation Michael and I were having today with Sean Day of Higher Lead Chill, who's our partner in that. And just how is this stuff going to play out? We started talking specifically about like voice AI and how fast that's come along. And I know I'm resistant to AI. Like I'm like, I'll go live in the woods is always my backdrop. I'll just go kill my food and eat it and I'll be fine. But the world is just changing so fast. And again, nobody actually knows what they're doing. Back to that mindset. Like none of us know what we're doing. But leaders make decisions and figure shit out and are okay being wrong. So I'm curious for you guys in your individual businesses, as you're like contemplating AI and the aspects of it that you're going to use. how do you see like leading into it? Like what's the strategy for you? I know, Michael, you're probably a little more aggressive, but you said some things on the call today. I'm not going to put words in your mouth. I'm like hesitant, but just naive. I'm curious how you guys see using it and how you see it like changing the future, and then weaving that back into the leadership angle of it, and how you don't get left behind and become a follower instead of a leader. Somebody pick it up from there.
That's all you, Michael.
That was the longest question without really a question. I'm aware of that.
I mean, my superpower is wonder. I love just thinking and coming up with ideas and stuff. The way Dan, sorry, I just saw JC's name pop up. The way Dan spoke this morning about leadership and just not knowing if you're right and having your team kind of be creative. I hope he actually got to say that again during this call, because it was so good. So it really started with that. Is just, we don't know what the future holds. We don't even know if the idea that we have is going to work. It's clearly the best solution that we have for whatever challenge we're dealing with, but we don't actually know. So we're just using our gut, our intuition that's clearly got us to some level of success.
Hopefully some good bookkeeping data. Hopefully we're using some good bookkeeping data.
Yeah, or some good leads, right? But I mean, it's just us kind of using all the dots that we have to connect and experience that we have to kind of get us to where we are. And so Sean asked the question this morning. He's like, I mean, is there really going to be adoption of voice AI and chatbots and talking to AI? And the answer is obviously. And I went back to history. Think about, you can even go and look at like how resistant a percentage of the population was to getting into cars because they didn't want to stop riding horses and buggies, right? I have an uncle that worked for AT&T, and the day they made him switch to a computer, he retired. He's like, I'm not using that damn thing, right? Because they're not going to make a change. Same thing with AI. It's going to be adopted. People are going to get used to it, and it's going to be the thing. And why is it? Because I can hire 3 sales reps in my business for $100,000 each, or I can get 3 AIs that are just as good, if not better, for $200 a month. Who is a business going to choose? You can't even be competitive from a pricing standpoint because you're going to have to charge so much more money to have a human do it than you're going to have a robot do it. And so we have to embrace this. The challenge I think that we're going to run into is I listen to so many podcasts, but there's Scott Galloway talks about this, and this is really important for like weak men. Is we're like getting into this, and I talked about it this morning with Dan. Is this society to where 18 to 30-year-olds, like in that particular demographic, and it's not everybody. If you're listening to this, it's not you, but we've gotten to this world where men can't communicate. They haven't learned how to lead. They're playing video games. They're isolated. They're introverted, and they're never gonna amount to kind of what is going to be necessary for this next level of AI automation that's coming, because we're going to get lost. We're going to get stuck unless people can just learn how to adapt very, very quickly with what's happening. In 2019, ChatGPT could barely pass a kindergarten exam and understand basic sentences, and it can pass bar exams and medical reports now. So it's crazy how fast it's going. And we are going to get left behind, and it's really, really scary. So my suggestion and the way I think the future is going is to figure out how you can either A, lead or be a part of a community of some way, because the human connection is going to be so much more important than it is now. I don't know what it's going to look like, but it's going to be similar to like the Industrial Revolution, where we weren't, working 100 people to make a t-shirt. It's way faster to do that now. So I don't know what it's going to look like. But if you're not embracing and learning what automation can do right now and what AI can do right now, you will be left behind. And it's coming so fast, unbelievably fast. I had somebody build me a voice AI chatbot in one night. Went to bed, didn't have it, woke up and had it. It was crazy.
It is bonkers. And one of the other things that Sean had said, and he had reflected back and said, hey, Michael, a year ago you were saying this, and now you're saying this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And which goes back to my point of like, yeah, because we don't know, right? And it doesn't matter what I said yesterday, because the world is changing so fast. And yeah, I probably was wrong on a whole bunch of stuff yesterday, and that might have been one of them. But to Michael's point, it seems to me like I think the question Sean was asking was, isn't there going to be like a resistance to this?
Yeah. There already is. There's definitely a resistance to it.
There already is, but when you pull up to McDonald's, it's a voice AI that's at that thing taking your order. Like they start it, they ask you for your code, and then they transition you to a person in person, like attendant there. Once they know if you already use the app and the AI to order your food, which I always do. And this one always cracked me up. JC had posted like, I would never go into that restaurant, about McDonald's in particular. Somebody had posted something. He's like, you wouldn't catch me, stepping foot in that restaurant. And I said, of course not. You use the app and you go through the drive-through, you dumbass. You save 20%. Everybody knows that. But like, it's just, we're going to get immune to it. Just like anything, just like everybody's got a freaking smartphone in their pocket, just like everybody's on the internet. There's going to be a sweet spot that gets figured out. We don't know where it'll be. Nobody knows, but society will kind of decide what's acceptable at some level. Just like we all pay to get oil changes. Nobody used to do that, right? Like it will just become the way that things are. Voice AI is going to be part of it. Video AI is going to be part of it. We don't know today, but there will be regulations on how you declare something as AI, right? Like you'll have to declare it as AI, and I'm sure AI will cheat in somewhere. AI is going to become.
Oh, it's gonna, yeah. Right. Well, JC asked a really good question too, and he was at an event I was speaking at a couple of years ago, where is there thing is using too much AI too early in the game, and this is from my perspective, and I just want to share this because we all have super smart friends that are on the cutting edge and building things that don't exist, right? But I don't want to build a voice AI platform because they're all going to be white labeled over the top of something else. I want to use the tools that already exist. Now, there are pioneers and people that are going to like just go their own route and make their own thing and use it, and it's going to cost way more money and be way more awesome.
Trillions of dollars.
Yeah, billions of dollars. That's not the lane I'm going to play in. The lane I'm going to play in is figuring out what tools and resources exist now, so that I can either white label it for my own agency and myself, or I can just use those tools and tell people what I'm doing. It doesn't really matter to me. But the point is, a year ago, voice AI wasn't where it is now, not even close. And where it is a year from now is going to be even farther ahead. And so we are in a unique position now to be able to take advantage of things that are already good enough. Like it can replace a human right now. And so this is the time. Embrace it. Take advantage of it. If you don't know it, find somebody that does and pay that fee to get set up with it, because it's crazy. It's crazy good.
I know I mentioned this quote on the show before, but I was at Home Service Workshop. I was talking to a guy and we were having this conversation. He said, the thing is, it's not the AI that's going to replace you. It's the person that's using AI that's going to replace you. Yeah. Right? Like if you're not adapting to it, you don't have to be the one using it, right? Like I'm an employer. I will hire people that are better than me at using it, just like I hire people that are better than me at bookkeeping, just like I find softwares that are better than me at communicating or whatever the case is. To exactly what you said, Michael, like it is a tool. And if you're out using a shovel and the guy next to you has a fucking backhoe, you're going to lose, right? Like that's just that's how you're playing the game. What did JC say? Business idea. AI investigators to tell what images and videos are real or fake. It's scary how they look so early on. Will only be more realistic over time.
They just made a movie about this, and it's super, super messed up. That exact question he just made, or that business idea. They're like billionaire best buddies that go out into the mountains in some remote, snowy, middle of nowhere, and they're basically ending the world with their businesses. And I think it's supposed to be funny, but it's really not funny. It's kind of dark. Terrifying. It's just kind of terrifying. Yeah.
As Michael got talking about weak men, it did make me think in community, because I do think we're gonna need, especially in a world where we're like pulling human interaction out of day-to-day business stuff, we're going to need to force human interaction. Like we're all going to be craving it. I might need to get Boob started after all. The business owner outdoor badass is just for hunting and fishing trips.
Oh, I was like, where are you going with this one, man?
Yeah, like I kind of tabled it because I was like, man, I don't know if I need to like start another business venture, but maybe I will get Boob started after all. This is a great idea. And that promotes strong men instead of weak ass men, because you got to carry a bunch of shit into the boundary waters. You can't have a weak man.
This is what I have to say about AI, specifically for business owners and people like me that are not quite as intelligent as Michael Gregory, who's trying to change the world with AI. It's easy to look at AI and just go, yeah, that's above my head. I don't want to get involved with that. And it's also easy to sign up with a new AI program and say, okay, that's what we use going forward. And then you get comfortable and stuck. Neither one of those scenarios are good. It's growing and changing so fast. I find myself using a different form of AI every other day. And I'm running a pressure washing company, so just don't get stuck. Try something new, implement it, work with your team, and just don't get stuck in it. But it's going to change.
Back off that, Trevor, because this is important. It's a skill to learn how to use the basics of a software. For sure. And like just the basics of high level, the basics of Monday or Slack or Twilio or whatever you want to use, right? You don't have to become an expert at it, but you have to be able to speak intelligently to sniff out the bullshit when somebody is trying to tell you something that's not right. And it's a skill to be able to read documentation and understand the basics. And I see so much abdication right now where they're so afraid of it, like, just do it for me. And then you peel back a couple of layers and you're like, they have no idea what they're doing. Their company's basically running wild because they just trust this thing that works. So it's a skill, and a very, very important skill to learn how to understand the basics of the softwares that you're using.
Or even just to have the conversation. Like, how do you, if you know nothing about AI whatsoever and you're trying to do complicated things and you go to work with somebody like Michael Gregory, you guys can't even communicate. Like, he doesn't even know how to tell you what you need to do.
You can't even use AI. You can't even use the AI to communicate with them because you don't know how to use it. Like, maybe the AI can communicate with Michael, but you don't even know how to use it.
Do you know how I've learned the most about it? I ask it, like, hey, what should I be thinking right now? How should I be, like, what am I missing?
I like JC's comment. Some people are so focused on AI like it's going to save their business when they can't run their business without it already.
Yeah, and then they just turn it on like, thank God.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I won't know what my business or the AI is doing. Perfect. Delegation. Nailed it. It is scary, and I'm probably like the farthest behind AI of anybody on this chat right now. But again, it's like I'm always late to those things. I'm not an early adopter, and I'm not so naive to know like it's coming. And like when something like that comes, it doesn't matter if I think it's good or bad. Like holistically, I think it's terrible for humans. I think it's like the worst thing we've ever done. But we can't help ourselves, right? And I think there is a sweet spot. I think we'll overshoot the sweet spot. I think it's gonna help us a lot as a society, but I think it's gonna hurt us more in the long run. I think that ship sailed the minute we had internet and social media, though. Yeah. Like, but the only other choice is like you just go live in the woods, but there might not be that much woods for that much longer. Right? The base things are going, right? Like, so what's the Utah senator's name that's trying to fucking get rid of all the public land and sell it back to the states so they can sell it all? And
Oh, really?
Mike Lee, yeah, piece of shit. Jai is so far ahead of you. He even has AI in his name. Are you talking about Jar? Wait, are you talking about Jar or Jai now?
Oh yeah, Trevor.
Yeah.
Jar. Is Jar gonna be here?
Yeah, could be Jar guy. Jar.
You make one mistake and people just, my dad always used to say, "Don't let them know you're down, kid, because they'll kick you while you're down."
Well, and the funny thing is, who knows how many times we've mispronounced Jai's name over the years on this show, but that one stuck. When you did it, it stuck.
Yeah.
I assume you've heard the joke about fucking one sheep. Have you heard that joke?
I'm going to turn my, hold on, let me turn my social media connection off. Let me turn my audience off.
On my personal page, but it's okay.
Yeah, that's a good joke. I'll bring it in Raleigh.
It's all good though. It's all good.
Yeah, bring it in Raleigh.
Yeah,
Michael, you're not going to be in Raleigh, right?
When?
Tomorrow.
Like you would know. That question says no.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot.
Dang, my flight leaves in 10 minutes. No, I'm definitely not going to Raleigh tomorrow. What's happening in Raleigh?
I've had Jimmy Tompkins has a lighting event. I had this has happened twice now. This has got to be a Delta AI issue. But when I was flying out to the Philippines, like had the flight on my calendar, knew what time it was. I was on that morning and I tried to like sneak in a couple meetings before I headed to the airport, and I'm on and I see a scheduled meeting on my calendar and it's for like 9 a.m. flight. And I'm like, shit. Like, I thought it was a 2:00 flight. Like, I'm already, there's no way I'm going to make it. Like, it's 8:30 a.m. right now. I'm not going to make it. And then I went and looked at my itinerary. I was like, oh no, it is a 2:30 flight. Like, why is this on my schedule all of a sudden, like really early? I didn't put it there. Like Delta did. I assumed like maybe they moved the flight or something like that. And so I passed it off in my mind as like, I must have, maybe I put it there, or maybe I moved it, whatever. Today, I'm looking at my flight for tomorrow, and I've looked at my schedule for tomorrow multiple times today because I'm trying to like squeeze some stuff in before I leave. And this wasn't on there. And all of a sudden, Delta put a meeting on my schedule. I think I fly out at like 5. All of a sudden, there was a meeting on my schedule at like 11 for the flight. I'm just like, what the, like, it's same thing. I had to go into my flight to be like, did it move? Did something happen? No, the flight's still at 5:00 or whatever the hell time it is. What I think is happening is they're putting it, I don't know why they would wait to put it on your calendar for 24 hours before you're supposed to fly. Like they're putting it on the calendar as a reminder of some sort, but it's at Greenwich time. It's a Greenwich, like it's time 0, right? And we're 5 hours behind that. And so Greenwich? Is that it?
Sorry.
Greenwich? Yeah. Jar?
Yeah. Sandwich, Greenwich.
Trevor?
Greenwich, yeah.
Yeah. Greenwich time. So all, like somewhere in their AI, something's jacked up. And it's stuff like that where I'm just like, man, I still don't trust all the automations and the technologies. Like everything still needs to be verified. It's given me a heart attack twice now, just in the last 2 weeks trying to fly around the country.
Semi heart attack.
Yeah. I didn't quite have a full on heart attack, but close. What do we miss? What else is going on? Anything else? Do we miss an AI angle?
Oh yeah.
Somebody quick chat GPT. What did we miss? So Trevor, you had mentioned you're using other stuff. I don't even have chat GPT on a device. What other? No, I don't. I've avoided it up to this point.
What?
That's insane.
Yeah, dude, like you're missing out. Like it's amazing.
Dude, I'm so much more efficient. It's not even like the person I was a year ago would not be able to do a third of the things I do in a week now. It's wild. Thank you.
But that's why I hire a bunch of other people. That's why I hire other people. I think I should hire an AI, like a chat GPT expert. I'm going to hire somebody for it.
No, see, you weren't listening earlier.
Then, right?
I was listening. It doesn't mean I agree with everything. I still don't like it. I still want to go live in the woods.
Sounds nice.
JC said, Dan, what was the one thing about the Philippines you weren't expecting? I don't think I realized how humid it was. Like I knew that it was tropical, but that was like another level of humidity just all the time. I don't think there was anything unexpected. Truthfully, the balut wasn't as bad as I expected.
The balut. Okay.
The balut wasn't as bad as I expected. I did eat the fetus, and it wasn't as bad as I expected. I still don't like it.
I can't believe
it. Not the fetus.
Isn't that a Korean food? I thought balut was a Korean food.
It's purely Filipino, I think.
Oh wow. Okay.
I think. I don't know.
I had balut in graduate school. There was a Korean restaurant that had balut. I always thought it was Korean. Also, JC's like Jared is messaging a whole lot for not being here. What's he doing?
That's because Angela's probably still sleeping. He's in Malaysia. Angela's probably still sleeping. It's like 4 a.m. there. He's just awake, and he's like, "Well, I guess I'm in here." Wonder if he's got a beer or he's going to the gym yet. No, I do. Like I said, I'm not naysaying AI, but I just don't like the idea of it, and it's like a principle thing. So I don't have a hard time hiring other people to use it. I know we need it in our business. I just like doing my own thing.
Honestly, I've adapted I've adapted to it so fast that I liken it to the GPS days when everybody had a GPS in their car all of a sudden and nobody knew how to drive without it, or backup cameras. Nobody knows how to back up a truck or a car anymore because they don't have backup cameras. It's like that. I mean, I can't even respond to emails anymore without it. I can't do anything without ChatGPT or some form of AI. I can't even send a text message. I'm like, somebody else write that for me. It takes.
I was gonna say that, and that's my worry is like, I enjoy the thought process of like, what am I going to say and how am I going to say it? And so like, I don't know if I'm me without that part of it. Like, I don't like, it's an identity crisis thing that I'm having. Like, I don't, here's a weird analogy. This is a Mike Dalkey thing that I bought into. And then in hindsight, I was like, fuck. He always said in our last business, and when I was at Blue Skies, he's like, sticking to your principles is too expensive. Like, principles are money. Like, if you want to fight for your principles and like hire lawyers and like stick to your guns, it's oftentimes too expensive. So we have to do what like financially makes sense. And we did over and over and over again. And then I found that's not me. Like, I will pay everything to stick to who I am. Right. I will give up all the advancements. I will give up all the technology to like be true to myself and be who I am, because I don't care about money the way he did as an investor. And that's not a dog on him, right? Like, he and I think differently. Yeah. He's a very pragmatic investor. And he's like, it's not worth sticking to our principle to like try to prove a point and spend a bunch of money on it. And I'm like, that's such a slippery slope. Like, what principle is it and how do ethics come into play? And like, money is only so valuable, and who I am and like my principles are always going to be more valuable to money than me. So I think that's where I struggle with AI is I don't want something doing thinking for me. I don't mind using tools, right? Like physical tools and digital tools, and AI like starts to cross the line of doing the thinking. And I know, like, so do computers, right? And I'm like, if you're writing an Excel formula, like, it does the repetitive thinking and stuff for you. And so it's a very gray space. Like, it's not a black and white thing. But that is the part of AI that I struggle with. Like, as a human, as Dan, that like is trying not to be a weak man, as Michael said. Like, I'm trying to be
You're the opposite of
I'm not trying to be J.C. Chanelski. Let's get real. I'm not trying to be like ass kicking, big son of a gun.
Yeah. At this point, you could probably upload my consciousness. That's how much ChatGPT knows about me. I might be a drone right now.
It's probably ChatGPT that got you in trouble with the DNR.
I've never been in trouble with DNR. Signing out.
Let's hit on what Daniel has to say. Look.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate you, Jar.
All right, I gotta read it. The ones leaning in now are automating what others still do manually, out marketing their competition, and showing up where customers are actually searching in AI tools.
ChatGPT totally wrote that.
It's not about replacing people either. It's about multiplying what your team can do. Hesitation will cost you. Early adoption will compound. I agree, and that's why I want my team to use it. Exactly right. Do your best business ideas come from yourself or when you think it over with others? I think always with others, right? But like in the context with other business owners, I do get where ChatGPT can help you facilitate those ideas, but I don't trust them then, right? That's my contention.
That's going to change for sure.
I think it will. I think it will. Just like the adoption of voice AI, like people will have to get over it because it's just going to be what you do.
Think about how it's going to change education.
Oh man, it's crazy.
It's done. Look. School's done.
Remember when they forced you to keep a calculator and it was like, oh no, you have to do this, and before that it was no, you're not allowed to use calculators, and you had to have this specific calculator in high school when we were in school. Now I don't care about any of that. Hey, chat. Dude, some of the formulas I'm putting together for my spreadsheets are so ridiculous. I mean, they're like one cell and the formula is like this long.
Oh yeah. Well, like JC just said, AI is the modern version for fast college. I'm able to learn and adapt at a fast rate than sitting in a classroom. Also, it makes me a better writer for a 5-time college dropout.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I don't think it does, right? Like ChatGPT is better, but you're not. No offense, JC.
You have to know what to ask. That's the crazy thing too. Is it's not just being able to get the information. Is how do I even know what questions to ask? Yeah. And that's where people are getting stuck. Is like, how do I get to the point I want to get to? Because sure, it's amazing. It knows everything in the world, but how do I navigate to get to that answer?
I think I got to hire a prompt engineer. Got to have a good.
Well, no, it's not. That's where everybody messes up. Everybody thinks that you have to have the right prompts and you have to have the right questions. You need to have a conversation. It's called Chat GPT, right? Mm-hmm. You need to have conversations just like I'm having with you, and then you say, "Hey, what are your thoughts?" That's when you get the best result from AI, because they're going to spit out real stuff, and then you say, "Hey, this is my DISC assessment. This is my employee's DISC assessment. Here's the issue I have. I'm not sure how to handle this. What do you think is the best way to do it?" It's going to spit it out. Yeah. I mean,
so here's what we're going to do. First, I got to hit this comment here. Angela said, "I'm awake. I told him to get on and stop commenting. He does have a beer." It's like
4 a.m.
4 a.m. over there. Roger Sullivan, who Roger's on the show tonight, coming tonight. Roger, we might talk about this again. Said AI handles all of their Airbnb conversations with their guests. Here's what's going to happen is at some point, you guys know I'm going to use it, right? It's inevitable. And I'm not saying I'm not going to use it. I'm just holding out until I feel like I'm ready for it and the world's ready for me to have it. Once we do, it's going to be like shit hit the fan, man. It's going to be all over. Zig Scott wants to know, who are these guys? Zig? I don't know, man. They're just talking heads, man. They're probably not even real. They're probably AI. They use so much AI. I don't even think it's actually them here. It's yep.
What kind of phone do you have, Dan? Do you still have a flip phone?
What? So maybe I did. Maybe. I did just look at T-Mobile yesterday.
Give me a Google high five for the Google phone.
Boom.
Wait, down here. You can get it. Come on.
Diagonal. That's gonna be a hard high five to do.
No, high five, bro.
Wait, I don't know what we're doing. Five the side.
High-fiving. We're high-fiving.
Trying to high five.
Oh, 5. I was giving you my phone. Okay, yeah. Google Pixel. I mean Android.
This is the problem with AI. You guys don't even know how to give high fives.
Well, I admittedly wasn't looking at the screen. Oh, look at Jai. 3 for 4. Dan, you have an iPhone?
I got an iPhone because JC, always tells me how stupid I am if I don't have one.
I was going to say, that's why nobody's listening to this episode, because we're all a bunch of Android users.
Yeah.
It's going to be shown. It'll be shown live in 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, there's literally nobody watching. Great. Killing it. Jared, what does that mean?
Yeah, he just hurt my feelings.
Jared, what does that mean?
It means we're happy.
Yeah.
That means that
happy
Andrew. Probably need to say the Lord of the air. Yeah, of the
God will never flood the earth. Is that what we're talking about?
All right, that was fun. I'm glad we wrapped up with all that BS. Truly, Roger, I'll see you tonight, man. Roger says flip phones are coming back. Jared says you're proud. That's what that means. Proud of your Android. I gotta run. I gotta go get the kiddos. We got soccer practice in friggin' 90-degree gross weather out here. It's almost might as well be in North Carolina or some shit like that.
Oh shoot! I thought I got you.
That's the wrong Carolina.
Well, I can stick on for 5 minutes, but I do got to get going at some point here to get the kiddos. Home service homies, you guys know what to do. Work smarter and harder, and I guess get some AI. Maybe Trevor, when I'm down with you in Raleigh, you can show me how to get it. I'll be like the old person. I think I need to actually have more kids so they can teach me this stuff.
When AI can order your beer for you and have it delivered.
Oh, done. Yep. Okay. I'm going to get working on that. And we'll talk to you guys later. Roger, I'll see you tonight. We'll be back with some more home service happy hour tonight. Another Tuesday episode. It's not Wednesday, as we found out earlier. So we'll see you tonight. Peace out.